Going to be a great environment. They may wind up having their first total sellout here in about 8 years. And wouldn't you know, it's NC State and North Carolina. Should be a dandy. The Wolfpack at 13-4. They are ranked number 11. North Carolina number 22. And we're off to the races on a tip that will go out of bounds. And we'll now go the other way. Opening quarter. Great to have you with us today. North Carolina, a seasoned team. They bring back, what, about 86% of the scoring from a year ago and from NC State. Excellent scoring balance. They get 14 from Johnson, 10 from Boyd. Hayes hits 38% from three-point land, and they are battle-tested, if anybody is. And there's Johnson to launch a three right away, but that's off the mark.
North Carolina start out in their man-to-man. Same for NC State. Both teams capable of switching it up some. North Carolina very good in their 3-2 zone.
Kelly back out for Hodgson. It can be very dangerous beyond the three-point line. Kelly a little off balance there with her first effort of the day. Also the assist leader for the Tar Heels. NC State, as mentioned, very balanced. 9 players getting at least 6 points a game and going to play 10.
Yeah, they have to play 10. And they can't turn the ball over like that in the live situation. Alyssa Usby with the ball right here will be the fastest Tar Heel end-to-end.
Great athlete, too.
She's a great athlete. She can rebound and gets them quickly into their transition game.
They'll catch a lot of iron, but going to drop away by Todd Williams. North Carolina had a great win last time out. They were down 9 to Virginia in the fourth quarter. Put on a full court press, blew them away down the stretch to win that game. A big win for them. There's Johnson off target again. So a couple of misfires. Donna Johnson hits 46% out there.
He's a very good three-point shooter and has been a good three-point shooter over her career at NC State. She's going to have to shoot it well on the road.
Must be on the turn. Left is short.
You know, Dave, both these teams like to run, but I don't see transition offense being very effective for either team because the game's going to slow down when you play in an event like this.
No basket there, so you get a look at Wes Moore. 793 career wins, his 10th year with the Wolfpack. Won 32 last year on that great run to the Elite Eight.
3 consecutive ACC tournament titles for NC State. And I think this is going to be a game about execution in the quarter court. Both teams like to run. I think transition's going to be at a premium.
And a shove in the paint. Must be really active right away. 14 points, 9 rebounds a game. Inside the first couple of minutes here at Carmichael. Rebound tipped out high. Hayes had a shot at it. Kelly comes away with it. Tips right over her. Hodgson, going to give it away. And a turnover. And they do not turn it over very often.
Well, they lead the ACC in turnover margin. They're capable, like that Virginia game that you referenced, where in the fourth quarter it was their defense that flipped the game.
Among the dignitaries, Roy Williams is here today. Matt Brown is here today. Right down the lane, Boyd can't get it to go. The 6'2 senior. Kelly really pushing it. Here's Todd Williams. Going to be short. Must be with a tough rebound in heavy traffic. And a corner jumper won't go. So both sides very chilly right out of the gate. You're sensing a nervy start for these two.
I think there's a lot on the line here, right? NC State didn't play well against Florida State. As a matter of fact, they didn't give very good effort. Well, you automatically expect the effort to be better in a rivalry game.
Deja Kelly with her first personal foul. The Carolina Star recently scored her 1,000th career point. That was against Miami. Courtney Banghart, the head coach for North Carolina. Her 4th year here at Chapel Hill.
Well, and Jakia Brown-Turner getting to the line early is a great sign, not just for her, but for NC State. She has not scored in 2 of the last 3 games, and they're counting on her offense.
And you're talking about a 1,000 career score, 1,000 points. So obviously very capable of getting it done. And finally, someone's into the scoring column here. 2-0 Wolfpack. Up Up top, Kelly off the fake, finds the lane with the left hand, and a clean block. Great stop there by Hayes. Hayes, who had 7 block shots against Virginia. So her timing is outstanding.
And NC State has already moved the ball better in the first few minutes of this game than they did in the entire game against Florida State.
Husby with another rebound. Back out for Hodgson. Yes! And North Carolina at last on the scoreboard.
See, and that's what Husby does that changes the game. She rebounds and she pushes, so she automatically puts pressure on your defense in transition. Hodgson's just got to fill behind the penetration for an open 3.
Boyd up top with a swing for Hayes. She can hit the 3, 38% out there. Brown-Turner, yeah, and a nice answer. Nothing but net.
After not going to the free throw line in the last 4 games, she gets to the line early, and that opens up the big basket for her.
And that's going to go the other way. Look at the enthusiasm there by Madison Hayes when she hit the deck. Slam on the floor with the hand. Offensive foul.
Well, you alluded to it earlier, Dave, the emotion right here. See, there's an illegal screen by Husby. Trying to set that drag deep inside the 3-point line.
Johnson won't wait. Can't cash in off the back iron, but a high rebound. Back to the Wolfpack, and they'll get a second crack at it. On top 5-3. Deep in the corner, Brown-Turner, All-American honorable mention a couple of years ago. And a kick, 5:40 to go in the opening quarter.
This is your 4-player, busting up the floor off a rebound, and all Hodgson has to do is fill behind. She is a tremendous 3-point shooter who hasn't been shooting it well, but she's made the most for the Tar Heels on the season.
You were talking about what a great athlete Alyssa Husby is, and terrific in more than one sport. She was a great soccer player. She's a great softball player. She could have done anything she wanted coming out of high school.
And look how she runs the floor. She'll challenge the post play to run the floor for NC State. You got to stay with her. She wins all the sprint stakes.
Knocked down by Kelly. So smooth with that jumper. All ACC first team last year.
She wants to get to the elbows. Every opportunity off the bounce, in transition. She is very good and from 15.
Certainly a big-time star. Hayes gave it up for Boyd, and Boyd with a nice touch. Jada Boyd, the senior. And a 7-5 lead here for the Wolfpack.
Madison Hayes doing a really good job getting over the top of that screen to keep Kelly in front.
Poole on the spin, working hard, but kind of airmailed it in close, and a whistle and a foul on the floor. 7-5, NC State early here at Carmichael. You're watching the ACC on ESPN, and what a treat to be in this building in Carmichael today. First of all, it's going to be a sellout probably. There's that, and there's that wonderful feel when you come in to this particular arena, knowing all the history that all the great players who have done amazing things on this floor.
I love it. Look at the floor and the lights, and it's a shooter's gym. And every time I come in here, I can't help but think about Michael Jordan playing in this building with a smoke-filled ring of, you know, people smoking in the arena, and, you know, it just wearing their suits and their ties.
Talk about a different era entirely, right?
Totally.
In every way. Todd Williams slamming on a brace. Shot clock down to 2. Got to get it up there, but short by Poole. And a rebound picked up by Madison Hayes, the junior out of Chattanooga.
Yeah, just because Diamond Johnson started 0 for 3 doesn't mean she will stop shooting. NC State needs her to stretch the floor and open up the interior.
Hayes into the lane, tough shot. But doesn't everybody need a great scorer with a very short memory?
You got to have a short memory, was right. If you put in the reps, then you can't lose your confidence.
On target, Kennedy Todd Williams, who's coming off a career-high 21 against Virginia.
Well, Husby, I think, is their best athlete. I think Kennedy Todd Williams is their best two-way player for North Carolina. She can generate with her defense, and she's capable outside the arc and has really improved in that area.
On the wall, Johnson, and a travel. Decanter all over that one.
Yeah, so you don't even want to give Diamond Johnson the ball on that cut. Watch the skip, and she's organized, her feet under her shoulders, and Kennedy Todd Williams, that's her 30th three of the season.
Now Courtney Banghart often compares her to Scottie Pippen with her versatility, the way she can affect the game, to your point. So picked up by Johnson in transition. Going to take it strong and lays it up, but no, it won't go. Big fight for the rebound. Thrown right back to Johnson. Boyd with a dribble down. Gave that one up to Baldwin, and they'll set it up again. Diamond Johnson can't drain it. That doesn't touch a thing. Out it goes.
So here's Diamond, okay? Not making a shot, trying to force it. Sanaya Rivers is going to come in and run the point for NC State, which she did when Diamond was out, missing 4 games. You got to make the game easier for your teammates right now. If you're not finding any offense, find some for your teammates.
Sanaya Rivers, of course, has spent a year at South Carolina, won the national championship as well. Watching the Gamecocks earlier today get rolling. Rivers will give it up. Here's Hayes. Baldwin trying to make a strong move, but they defended very, very well. And here come the Tar Heels. Kelly. Hodgson to the paint. Todd Williams again, not this time.
Good box out on the weak side by Jada Boyd.
Wolfpack at one point were 11-1 this season. It looked like, well, here they go again. That was through Christmas time. That one up and in for 2, but no, suddenly they dropped 3 out of the last 5.
Well, I think it's an effort thing for Wes Moore's team. It's not talent, it's effort. And you can't take a night off in the ACC. We already showed, earlier, there's 8 teams in this league that have, out of the 15, have at least 1 win against the top 10 team this season.
Usby, shot clock at 5. And that's going to be a charge. Offensive foul against Carolina.
Usby trying to create off the bounce. This is good D right here. River Baldwin cuts off the penetration. And that is refereeing the defense, legal guarding position. She obtained that. Good call by the officials.
Number 2 on Usby, so that's an early development here. You get about 90 seconds left in the first quarter. That's 14 points and 9 rebounds to the bench for a while.
And changes the tempo of the game for North Carolina.
Destiny Adams in now.
You're going to have to really execute in the quarter court.
Boyd up top, long range, but no, that'll clang away. Here's Kelly in the open floor. Hodgson with a long one. Got it, the triple on target. 41% for the senior from Ringe, New Hampshire.
Both of her threes in transition.
So Carolina by 2, under a minute to go in the first. James trying to negotiate. Brown Turner. Cross court, here's Boyd to the foul line. And another battle for the rebound. Those 2 tie up. And the possession arrow will take it the other way for North Carolina. And coming up next Sunday at ABC, an ACC women's basketball matinee coming your way. Diamond Johnson and number 11 NC State taking on the Louisville Cardinals. Coverage beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC, also on the ESPN app.
Louisville with a big win on the road at Florida State today. Haley Van Lith had 20, and Morgan Jones with 25. Jeff Walz is game planning now. I mean, they're gonna play hard. That's gonna be a tough one for NC State.
He's been known to do that.
Yeah.
Jada Boyd, by the way, just picked up foul number 2 for NC State. And final seconds of the first. Kelly rattles around and out. Major Kelly coming in, averaging 17 points a game. NC State to look for 1 shot here. Rivers down the lane, and a foul on the play. And that's going to be an offensive.
It's a great rotation here. North Carolina could have had a cup of coffee waiting on this one. All the blue jerseys in the middle of the floor. That's where you got to get to the paint, spray it out to an open shooter.
Now 4.5 seconds, a chance to get up a decent shot. Kelly, a three off the back of the iron, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end here in North Carolina. The Tar Heels with an 11-9 lead after a very chilly start. North Carolina on top. Boy, a lot of fun here today. Before the game, Carolina football coach, the Hall of Famer background, the pregame talking to the Tar Heels. And the looks on their faces, it's priceless. Look at the attention.
I mean, engaged, hanging on his every word. Why didn't he come over here and give us a pep talk?
That's right. Well, maybe Roy Williams will, because the Hall of Famer with his wife Wanda also in the house here today. 3 NCAA championships, and you're reading his book right now.
Hard Work is the name of his book, and I am just absolutely locked in. I've only gotten into the first couple of chapters, but I highly recommend it if you want to learn something about Roy Williams, and I have learned a lot in the first 60 pages.
Talk about humility. That's Roy Williams.
Came from very little, and is one of those true rags to riches, if you can use that cliche.
Those are two of my favorite people to cover all time in college athletics. Jumper from the corner will go for Hodgson. And so here come the Wolfpack trying to pick up their 14th win of the season. Very tough defensive teams, both of them. NC State holding opponents to just 62 points a game. There's some tough D.
If you're going to make that move, it's got to be definitive. Like, where's that little half hook over that left shoulder? North Carolina brings the double. Great collapse. And when you see that double, you got to be ready to kick to a shooter. North Carolina's definitely locked in the quarter court defensively.
Kelly to the baseline. Very tough move there, draws the foul. Really determined. The North Carolina star out of San Antonio. And look out, she's a TV anchor in the making. She's actually an anchor on the university student-run station at the Hussman School of Journalism, and she'd like to become a sports broadcaster eventually. I think this is a long way down the line, though, given her talent on the floor. So some of us have nothing to worry about for a while.
What are you worried about? You're looking at me, right?
Well.
She wants my job. She is an incredibly classy young person who has been a tremendous leader for North Carolina. Hard work and humility seem to go together when you talk about her game.
Watching her shoot before the game, she had the headphones on, going around the perimeter and just draining shot after shot. Great talent.
She likes to go left, and North Carolina State has let her go left. She is dangerous off the bounce.
Meanwhile, Donna Johnson getting underneath the ball and run for two.
See, Diamond comes back in. She looks to facilitate. NC State needs her to set others up. She needs to get 2 feet in the paint and kick.
Kennedy Todd Williams hit a big three early. Gives that one up for Key. Big freshman unable to get that one to go. She has a sister playing at Tennessee. Johnson with a floater. Just nothing's falling for her right now. A great move on the baseline. How about the scoop shot by Kennedy Todd Williams? What a play.
That is a big-time move.
Man, a dazzler.
Great change of pace.
Yeah, the junior got change of pace, razzle-dazzle, all sorts of creativity as well. Collins bottled up there, and that's going to be another jump. And they're going to get after it a little bit afterwards. Well, this is what happens in these edgy rivalries. Possession now will keep it on this end. Yeah, the coach is trying to calm everybody down.
Look at this right here, a little change of pace. Nice take on the baseline. Draw 2, cross it over.
Big time. Kennedy Todd Williams. And now Decanter's heading over to the monitor. Because of that little dust up afterwards, they're going to find out if there's something extra coming. With North Carolina leading 14-11. Also an opportunity to kind of calm everybody down. So they're going to go to the review. We're going to take the break. 7:41 to go before halftime.
Ball, if there's anything we need to address.
Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, Christy Winter, Scott Kelsey-Riggs going to be with you coming up on the Jeep Halftime Report. We'll take a look at the ACC. Duke's still undefeated in conference play. But Christy, what has North Carolina done so well in this first half?
Kennedy Todd Williams. She has been fantastic. Did you see that baseline move? She reminds me so much of Tamika Catchings on both sides, always bringing that tenacity.
Mid-January conference games can get ugly because of teams' familiarity with one another, neither team shooting better than 25%. This one might continue to be ugly.
Dave and Debbie, we will see and have much more at the half.
Kels, thank you very much. A 14-11 lead here for North Carolina. Did go to the monitor. They didn't see anything, which was leading them to believe maybe a flagrant or anything should be called.
Yeah, nothing. So you go right back to the possession arrow. It's NC State's ball.
Collins out of the corner. North Carolina looking to add to their lead. And you and I looked at the replays as well. You didn't see anything.
No, there's nothing there.
One and done. Baldwin comes away with a rebound.
I think we expect a little of that in a rivalry game.
Back to the play they were looking at, or I should say after play.
So it's a rebound by Collins, and there you see the jump ball between her and Adams. Not much, nothing, just hello, welcome to the neighborhood. Mimi Collins, new to the ACC.
Maybe 3 years at Maryland before transferring, plus a year at Tennessee. Todd Williams just made the play of the day, gives it up here for Kelly. Kelly to the paint. Probably should have shot the basketball.
I think both teams need to move the ball better. They're trying to go for the home run play instead of just hitting singles right now. Just move the ball, shift the defense, work inside out.
Deeply appreciate the baseball analogy as well.
That was for you, Dave.
I understand. Johnson trying to get started. She has been really chilly out of the gate. Shot clock down to 6. NC State having difficulty getting a decent shot. That certainly is not it.
Well, if you keep playing on the perimeter, you're playing right into North Carolina's defensive game plan. If you don't ever penetrate the paint with a pass or off the bounce, you're making it easy for North Carolina to stay in the paint.
Paris with a bounce speed. Todd Williams, another tough shot. Mentioned Paulina Paris now in the game, the freshman, the only freshman on the roster for North Carolina. Great block there by Todd Williams. Coming all the way down the other end of the floor to get the deflection.
Again, you throw this ball if you're sure that River Baldwin can catch and finish. Kennedy Todd Williams doing a great job closing speed and recovering in transition. And she was bothered a little bit by a knee today in shoot around, and it looks like she's over there sitting with the trainers walking it off.
Another great stop there, this one by Poole. Anya Poole, the big junior, says no.
How about a little pump fake?
Might come in handy on a play like that, under 6 to go. On the bounce, nicely done there, and in for Hobby. And a whistle.
And see, Jakia Brown-Turner gets the ball into the paint. And they have a foul on the baseline. Camille Hobby got fouled.
Hobby got hit. Eric Bruton had a foul. Take a look.
And this is what I was talking about for NC State, Dave. 2 feet in the paint, make a play. Oh yeah, Destiny Adams got her across the side of the head. That's a patient whistle. That's one that forget about it.
Hobby, the 6'3" senior with the make. She's another of the seemingly many Wolfpack players who are capable of getting 20 points on a given day. Usby back in and backs into. She's playing with 2 personals.
And Courtney Banghart trusts her. A lot of coaches go with that 2-foul rule, but Coach Banghart likes the analytics and trusts Alyssa Usby.
Usby also Carolina's top rebounder. Brown-Turner to the lane. Another long jumper, and this will climb away by Collins, who came in 5 for 21 beyond the three-point line. He's been unable to make those shots. Kelly, and a deflection. Hayes stand right with her. Madison Hayes, the transfer from Mississippi State.
She does a really good job right here of taking away Deja Kelly's left and then making that big defensive play on the block.
Some question about NC State about, who will the emotional leader be for their team. Hayes has shown a lot of that.
She's definitely showing some today, and she has in the past.
Shot clock a factor, down to 5. Usby's got to get that shot in the air. The jumper well defended. And a reach and a foul. That'll go against Paris. Trying to slow down Diamond Johnson.
Another good weak side block out by Hobby. And here's the foul by Paris, reaching around, committing a foul on Diamond Johnson. And Diamond has yet to get going for NC State, and it's just a 2-point game.
Has the feel of a slugfest, doesn't it?
It might. I didn't expect it to be high scoring. I didn't expect much transition. Actually, the only transition that we've really seen are the 2 threes by Eva Hodgson.
Both teams really lean on defense anyway, but look at Diamond, 0 for 4. You're talking about someone who can really shoot it. Preseason, all ACC, the Rutgers transfer. Turner slams on the brakes. Johnson will try another. It was her best looking shot of the day. That was in the cylinder anyway.
Look at Usby get them quickly up the floor.
Really pushes that tempo. Paris outside the 3. Had a huge game against Notre Dame. 16, 11 of those in the 4th. Adams with a miss.
NC State not giving up any O boards. Again, another long pass in transition that leads Mimi Collins underneath the basket. I understand trying to push the pace, right? You're trying to force the issue here, but you got to make good decisions in transition.
Carolina by 2, 4 minutes to go before the break here at Carmichael, which is packed to the gills. Johnson with a quick step. Here's Brown Turner. Yes, that'll drop in a 3-pointer.
If you've been following NC State in the last 3 games, Jakia Brown Turner has been a shell of herself, but she has showed up in a big way here in the first half for NC State.
Yeah, she is 10. And the Wolfpack on top by 1. Paris way downtown. Good looking shot coming off her hand, but it will not go. Johnson with that quick step.
I keep feeding Jakia Brown Turner right now. She's had the hot hand for NC State.
She's open beyond the 3-point line. And a travel on Johnson. She gives it away. Well, our Super Tuesday doubleheader starts with the Sunflower Showdown in Manhattan, Kansas. Number 2, Kansas taking on number 11, K-State at 7 Eastern. Jayhawks have won 10 straight games. Then Oscar Tshiebwe in Kentucky will take on Georgia at Rupp Arena. Key SEC matchup. Both games can be seen on ESPN, also on the ESPN app. Kentucky with a big win.
How about the bounce back by the Wildcats going on the road in Knoxville, knocking off Rick Barnes' team. Under the microscope, would you say?
I would
Kentucky?
say, yes. Poole on a high post. Shot clock at 7 for North Carolina.
Look at the spacing by the Tar Heels.
They find Paris. Yes! And a sweet 3. Back and forth they go.
They move the ball. They get 2 sides. In rhythm, Paris knocks it down.
Collins up top. Brown Turner. And the rebound comes away to North Carolina. To push it, here's Paris. Kennedy, Todd Williams will set it up. Here's Hodgson. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first half. Todd Williams shot clock a factor. And a collision. That's a travel. And a turnover. North Carolina by 2.
One of the things that I talked about with North Carolina earlier today was assisted baskets, moving the ball. Whoever had the most assisted baskets. And North Carolina does a great job. They attack baseline, swing, swing, open three.
Courtney Banghart, head coach. She was a 4-time state champion in soccer. She thought that's the way she was going to go as a coach. And that would go the other way. She thought she was destined to be a soccer coach. North Carolina delighted. She became one of the better basketball coaches in the country. Had a great run at Princeton.
7 Ivy League titles, 8 NCAA tournaments while at Princeton.
Hodgson on the baseline. Tough pass and threw it away. Didn't have much of an angle at all there and gave it up. And it's going to be 8 turnovers for North Carolina. They only average about 13. Brown Turner with a really nice start. Everybody else lagging behind in a big way. 3 for 23 for the Wolfpack. Timmons needed help. Almost gave it away. Hobby. Yes, nice touch.
Well, one of the things that Wes Moore talked to us about before the game was playing inside out and trying to get Hobby established. She's capable of scoring in there. That's her first touch on the block.
Long one from the corner, but no by Todd Williams. And back over to Wolfpack it goes. So Carolina 1 and done on that possession.
Yeah, this is about execution. There's no easy buckets. Situational offense as the game wears on is going to become even more imperative after timeouts, baseline and next sideline out of bounds plays, executing when the game slows down.
Low scoring first half, obviously, but I think both teams are looking for that locker room to get a breather because it's been frenetic. And when you're in one of these rivalry games, emotions are so high, and that's a blocking foul. 45 seconds to go. And a foul against Hodgson.
Timmons getting some early minutes for NC State. I was at practice yesterday for NC State. She was as engaged, and Wes Moore was as animated as I've ever seen him in practice.
Hobby getting position and tied up on the play. Possession arrow, give it over to North Carolina on the defensive stop.
Neither team has played their best basketball, yet we've got a really competitive game. And Poole with another block for North Carolina. They count that as a jump ball. I would count it as a block.
I would too. So last seconds of the first half here at Carmichael's. Paris looking to make a move. Shot clock down to 3. And Paris will be held with 3 on the shot clock by Timmons. And 15 seconds on the game clock. Timmons will pick up number 1.
What a bailout for North Carolina that Timmons commits that foul with 3 on the shot clock. Now it resets to 15. North Carolina will have the last shot, whereas NC State could have gotten the ball back.
So here's Deja Kelly. Wants to make a move. Kelly on the drive, pull up pop. Got it! The final shot of the first half. And one of the great players in college basketball, Deja Kelly, absolutely drained it.
She gets to 25 feet or 15 feet, and she is money, Deja Kelly.
Kelsey, Rebecca, and Christy coming your way in the studio. Getting set for the second half. North Carolina on top of NC State in a very low-scoring first half. 21-19. Neither side, in fact, made even 30% of their shots. So has a rock fight feel to it, Deb, for sure. We'll see if the second half improves here right away.
I mean, if we play the percentages, it's got to get better, right? At least both teams did improve in the second quarter in their field goal percentage. But North Carolina's going to need a little more of this. They're going to have to continue to find the three-point line because they have been good so far in the first half. Usby on the push. Hodgkin fills behind and drills the triple. 4 threes in the first half by North Carolina by 3 different players. And North Carolina goes swing, space the floor. They do a nice job of finding the open shooter behind the arc. But offense has been at a premium in the first half.
Both teams a season low for points in the first half. That's both teams. For NC State, Brown and Hobby 5 out of 8. The rest of the team has made 2 of 21 shots. And then what do? You look to your stars. But Deja Kelly is 2 for 8, and Diamond Johnson's 0 for 7.
Well, I think for Deja Kelly, she's going to continue to work off that screening action, that drag action in the middle of the floor. When she gets to the elbows, that's where she makes her money, if you will. And for Diamond, you just have to make the game easier for your teammates right now until you get an easy bucket or get to the free throw line. But you've got to continue to keep working because it's just a one-possession game right now. I don't expect it to be much different as we get to the fourth quarter.
Still 7 times. The lead has changed hands. Quick strike here for the Wolfpack. Hayes lays it in.
Nice backdoor cut off the North Carolina pressure to start the second half for NC State. It's a good play call by Westmore.
One of the big problems with Wolfpack in the first half is a lot of errant passes, particularly in transition, passes that just never got there. So North Carolina and NC State locked up at 21 in front of the packed house here at Carmichael. Kelly airmailed that one, came up way short, and back to that first strike of the half.
NC State scripts this play. It's a great look. Camille Hobby dribbles right at Deja Kelly, and Madison Hayes goes backdoor for an easy 2. The easiest bucket of the game for either team.
NC State trying to grab the lead. Last time they had the lead, it was 17-16. Battle for the rebound. Usby goes to chase. A nice save for the athletic junior. Here's Todd Williams. Got an open look. Usby with the board. Right back to her right hand. No!
Boy, it's terrific footwork in there to counter, going back to the up and under move. But you see, even Jada Boyd bringing the ball up the floor, Dave. She's not quite 100% with that ankle. And I think it's affected her explosiveness.
Yeah, sprained an ankle back in early December, and she's been fighting it ever since. Here's Diamond Johnson with the pass. Boyd jumping inside, gave it up. Pull there to defend, but nicely done to stay with it by Hobby.
I mean, that's an example right there. Nice feed by Jada Boyd, but if she was healthy, she would have been able to elevate and score.
Has the feel of a game, even though at times it has not been a work of art that's going to come right down the last couple of possessions. Should be fitting between these two. Number 11, NC State. Number 22, North Carolina. Usby underneath.
I think Alyssa Usby is so skilled. Left to right. Nice move and counter with the left hand. We already know what a great rebounder she is and how she initiates the North Carolina break.
And 9 rebounds a game, hit 13 against Florida State. And she has 7 so far today.
So this could be a clear out for Diamond to just drive it to the hole. Right here, yes.
There she goes. Knocks it down.
That's reading the defense, understanding the scout, and she can blow right by Hodgson anytime she wants.
So you saw that 7 seconds before it happened. She was on the money. No answer from Kennedy. Todd Williams. Johnson looking up on the feed and laid up and in by Brown Turner. That'll lead to a timeout for North Carolina. There hasn't been a lot of separation, but this is the biggest lead for NC State today, on top by 4.
Wolfpack coming out of the locker room looking like they're ready to play. Much better effort here by NC State. Great start to the second half.
Well, it should be very festive when you're talking about NC State and North Carolina in a game like this, but in between the breaks, the alumni have been introduced and honored here at Carmichael. It's been great.
It's been awesome. The pre-80s, then they had the 80s. This group's from the 90s. Of course, Sylvia Hatchell won a national championship in 1994 with some of these players out here that had a lasting impression on the legacy of North Carolina basketball.
Now keep your eye on number 25 for North Carolina and Deja Kelly if she can get rolling here. A short one by Usby and a fight for that rebound. It would go the other way to NC State. And can Kelly really catch fire? They need her to. Down by 4.
Well, I think NC State's done a very good job on her. She's not able to get out in transition. They've kept her off the free throw line, but when she plays in that drag action, she gets to the elbow, she's tough. And North Carolina saved their zone until the second half, which NC State did work on yesterday in practice.
Kelly can take over a game. Here's Johnson off the back iron, gets her own rebound. And a second effort now for NC State. Pull-up pop, that is too strong by Brown Turner. In transition, Kelly. Kelly tiptoeing through, no. Missed the lay-in.
She usually makes those.
And once again thrown away, and again it's a repeat. What we saw throughout the first half, just saw Wes Moore put his hand up to his forehead like he was battling a migraine after that one.
Well, and Diamond, who Wes knows has to play well in this environment to win, is 1 for 9 with 4 turnovers in the game. I think people sometimes forget Diamond as a freshman, as Hodgkins hits her 3rd triple. Diamond was a 50, 40, 80 player her freshman year in the Big Ten at Rutgers. She's very capable of being a scorer, and I don't mind her taking open shots because she's put the reps in.
Yeah, at 22 against Iowa, she can get it done underneath. Very difficult angle, can't make the shot. Jada Boyd. Again, it might be that ankle. Kelly with a pull-up, no. Adams keeping it alive. Here's Hodgson, way downtown. Just nothing falling for North Carolina. 1-point lead here in the 3rd for NC State and the ball. Bobby lets fly. Nope. Must be another rebound.
There's that drag action.
Tipped away and controlled by Carolina.
I think you have to go under all that ball screening action with Kelly because she's so good at turning the corner. And Usby gets 2 feet in the paint and buries NC State in the rim.
And North Carolina back on top by 1. And a true slugfest. Jump shot on the way, that won't drop. Hayes came up empty, but they'll get another crack at it. Johnson, a lot of iron, but no. Adams with a foul on the deck. 4:29 to go in the 3rd.
Alyssa Usby, watch this double bury, 2 feet in the paint. 2 points for the Heels. Tar Heels with a 1-point lead.
NFL Super Wildcard Weekend culminates Monday night, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys squaring off against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Our megacast also includes Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Cowboys lost to the 49ers in last year's wildcard round, while the Bucs won the NFC South, although they went just 8-9. So a lot of questions about just how good they are.
How great to see Coach Brown and his wife Sally here. We already saw Coach Williams and Wanda. The trifecta is complete because Anson Dorrance is here as well.
You talk about some people who could coach. Flat coach. In transition, Hodgson airmailed it. Great read there, though, by Usby. Back out for Kelly. And out an ugly shot. Big scrap for that. They tie up going over the baseline. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor.
And if you can't get it going in transition, you can accelerate through your action in the quarter court. And that's what North Carolina is trying to do. Great hustle right here for possession of the basketball by both teams. Look how much quicker North Carolina is going through their pace.
Paris beyond the 3. Round the back. Difficult shot, no.
Good D.
Diamond Johnson's had a horrendous shooting game, just 1% over 70 on a three. Hobby making a move in close with the scoop.
Dave, one of the things I love about Camille Hobby, her freshman year, 6 minutes. Sophomore, 11 minutes. Junior last year, 12 minutes playing behind Elisa Cunane. 22 minutes this year. She waited, worked, stayed patient, kept developing, and now she's getting rewarded, and she's a big bonus for NC State on the block.
Makes 53% of her shots. Hodgson in and out. Boy, that's the look she wanted right there.
Wide open.
Will knock that one out of play. It'll be NC State ball. Back to the Hobby play.
I mean, watch the footwork. When you go against Elisa Cunane every day in practice for 3 years, you learn how to score against shot blockers, and that's Camille Hobby's work ethic right there on display.
Senior from Jacksonville, Florida. Another lead change here. We've had a bunch of them. 10 of them. Collins back up top for Brown Turner.
North Carolina staying in that zone.
Paris went for the pick. Johnson came up with it, but it let him miss. Just won't fall for her today. And yet the Wolfpack clings to a 1-point lead with this star off target. Speed, the painted area, a little fall away.
Look at Hobby defending, rebounding, ripping it. NC State on the run. Got numbers.
Brown Turner on the swing, and they throw it away. Time to turn it over.
You got a 4-on-3. You got to score, especially when it's been so challenging to score. And before North Carolina can set up that zone, missed opportunities.
Kennedy Todd Williams, who took some ill-advised shots early in the half, getting ready to check back in now for Courtney Banghart. Loose ball again. Boy, that's happened over and over today.
That's a good dig right there by Jakia Brown-Turner on the post to create that turnover.
So the foul will go on Destiny Adams of North Carolina. And Kennedy Todd Williams back on, averaging 14 points a game. And for the moment anyway, Deja Kelly hits the bench.
I'm wondering if Westmore would consider moving Diamond Johnson off the ball against zone, since she's the best three-point shooter. Just to have another threat to space the floor. Even though she's not hitting, you still have to guard her.
Hobby turns to fire. Nice touch. 31-28, the Wolfpack.
You're not going to start the scout report against NC State with Hobby on the top, but she is going to deliver. She's been effective all season.
Looking to use the screen.
I think Hodgson's the one player you got to get over the top of that middle ball screen.
Husby with a scoop. No. The defense on the interior has been very tough. Another scrap. And a timeout. North Carolina. North Carolina comes away.
Westmore wants to know, don't you have to have the possession of the ball? How about a foul? He's looking for something. He's searching.
Take a look at that last play, and North Carolina called a timeout. Did they have possession in order to do that? Still battling for it as Usby went down. It was close. 1:34 to go in the quarter.
It was close.
So North Carolina to check it in, trailing by 3. Adams on the high post. Fight for the rebound. Adams came away with it. Really battling underneath. Todd Williams got it from three-point land.
What a find by Usby. And North Carolina sprints back to set up that 3-2 matchup zone.
And reties the game at 31. 6th time it's been tied. And a turnover. Kennedy Todd Williams in the open floor. Wants the jumper, well short. And it'll go the other way. It'll be Wolfpack ball here with 55 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Dave, let me just promise you that both of these teams are better offensive teams than what they've shown today. I mean, this has been tough. It's competitive, but it's not clean.
No, that's for sure. Look at the shooting numbers. And for NC State, just a dismal first half. 6 out of 16 in the third. Rivers with a 17-footer. And a lot of open shots like that on both sides just haven't gone down today. A feed for Usby. Pounding it into the paint. And that rolls off the iron. Well, she did everything perfect.
Did it all right, except for finish. Now NC State gets the last shot.
So a big rivalry game between two top 25 opponents. And it has been no work of art, but it has been exciting here heading toward the fourth. And it's somebody's got to win the game. Somebody's got to make a big shot or two down the stretch.
Well, I can't believe this game's going to finish without Deja Kelly for North Carolina and Diamond Johnson for NC State having an impact on the game.
A foul on Adams will send Baldwin to the line. River Baldwin at 6'5". Adams to the bench. Baldwin 3 years at Florida State before transferring.
Courtney Banghart substituting here with 3.5 to protect against foul trouble. You don't want one of your players to pick up a charge or something on the rebound.
Now there's Elia in at 6'4". And a 1-point lead for the Wolfpack. 3.5 seconds on the clock. Baldwin just a 49% foul shooter. Off the foot. It rolled there to Hayes, and it rolls off the iron. That's how the third quarter comes to an end. It's NC State with a 1-point lead at North Carolina. Fourth quarter.
They've worked on their shots at game speed. They're going to play confidently here in the fourth quarter.
Diamond Johnson beginning the fourth on the bench next to Wes Moore. So here we go into the final quarter. Just 1 point separating these two rivals. Brown Turner flips it up and a whistle. She draws the foul.
Jakia Brown Turner, Dave, 10 points of the 19 that NC State scored in the first half. She just has 2 here in the second.
On the preseason watch list for the Drysdale Award, averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds. Every Thursday night, women's basketball takes over on the ACC network. A doubleheader coming up. Tipping at 6 o'clock Eastern, Miami and Raleigh to take on number 11 NC State. Then a rivalry matchup in Chapel Hill again. Number 16 Duke and the Tar Heels. Should be another great night for women's basketball on the ACC network. Zelaya gives it up. Here's Usby.
North Carolina hadn't gone to this set offensively till now to start the fourth quarter. So Courtney Banghart saving something in her bag over there.
Zelaya, the 6'4" junior, doesn't play a lot of minutes, but gets a big hoop here in the fourth.
But she can match up with River Baldwin. There's a steal.
Todd Williams draws a foul, lays it up and in. Kennedy Todd Williams has made the most acrobatic shots and the most difficult shots in this game. She just made another one.
I mean, this is an uphill pass, a calculated risk, great anticipation to shoot the gap and finish on the other end.
Brown Turner with the foul, a 3-point play, possibly here for Todd Williams, and she gets the roll. So it's Carolina by 2.
Well, the zone defense has been effective, not just today, but at other times during the season. Courtney Banghart's team can change the rhythm of the game with their D.
They're looking for help. Here's Baldwin. Rivers deep in the corner. Baldwin again.
Trying to get inside. You got to make a quick decision with the ball.
Shot clock's down to 1 and stolen away by Carolina. This Usby is off to Hodgson. Here's Kelly. Can Kelly take over here in the final quarter at Carmichael? Eva Hodgson. She goes down. A foul on NC State. And Baldwin with number 1.
Look at Kennedy Todd Williams attack to close out. North Carolina does a great job getting inside, drawing a foul. Quick off the bounce, showing her multiple skill set today. Kennedy Todd Williams on both sides of the floor.
Junior makes 79% at the foul line. And another one coming. Last time out, she put in 21 in a come-from-behind effort against Virginia. They were down by a bunch in the second half of that game and rallied to win. And she has 13 today.
North Carolina also has a capability of trapping out of this matchup zone, which we haven't seen yet.
Brown Turner jumping in. No. Deja Kelly gives it up.
NC State needs a stop right here because the crowd is on their feet.
Under 8 to play. Todd Williams, shot clock to 6. Celaya lets fly. Diamond Johnson, 46% three-point shooter, throws that one away. Another errant pass. It's 14 turnovers on the day. A little bit of quick strike, but down goes us being fouled. And she'll be at the line with 7:19 left.
North Carolina doing a great job with their D. Usby runs the floor hard every time. What she does is stretches the defense baseline to baseline, not just her rebounding ability, but her sprint ability up the court.
And we talked about her pure athleticism. She actually won a punt, pass, and kick competition at North Carolina's spring football game in April by kicking a 35-yard field goal. So it's like nothing she can't do.
I think Coach Brown's taking a few notes on that.
I think he might be. Matt Brown in the stands. Roy Williams in the stands. Anson Dorrance here. In my head, I'm tallying up all the wins and all the championships.
I'm wondering if Karen Shelton, the field hockey coach who just retired, is here as well. I mean, that's a lot of titles.
Oh, my. North Carolina with their biggest lead today. Rivers. On the turnaround, a shot won't go for Hobby. Carolina has Big Mo right now. Kelly airmailed it. I think the roof would have come off for Carmichael if she hit that shot. Johnson lining up the 3-ball. Got it!
A huge bucket after struggling from the floor. It's the second basket for Diamond.
Only 5 points today, came in averaging 14. Key shot there. Must be asked to go to the corner. There's Paris. Long one, yes! Three-pointer on the money.
That is a confident freshman who is playing well in the last few games for North Carolina.
And they love her, too. They really trust her.
She had a huge fourth quarter to knock off Notre Dame here last Sunday.
And she had 11 in the fourth quarter alone. They want Hobby underneath. Too far underneath. Tipped it, almost went in. And it'll go the other way. A foul against the Wolfpack. 42-37, North Carolina.
Skip by Jakia Brown-Turner. Diamond sizes it up. And then Usby right here moves the ball. Paris hands down. That's a bucket.
Mimi Collins just picked up the foul for the Wolfpack. North Carolina trying to draw even in the ACC. Hudson can't connect. Rebound comes right to Diamond. She wants to sprint. Brown Turner thought about a three. Rivers, a line driver around and out.
that set. North Carolina just ran for Hodgson to get a wide open three. Diamond got caught in the traffic in the paint. I'd go right back to it.
They're going to get the foul on North Carolina on Todd Williams, trying to slow down the play with 5 minutes to go. We showed you on the graphic, North Carolina finally coming alive a little bit offensively here in the fourth quarter, making some shots.
I don't think Shakira Brown-Turner is going to be over there for too long. I think Wes Moore giving her a break to the next media timeout.
Senior, 1,000-point scorer in her career.
And North Carolina needs to know where Diamond Johnson is. She hit one. She could get hot.
Hayes will look for a shot. Got it! From three-point land. Madison Hayes, 38% beyond that line. Makes it a two-point affair. Trying to spin to the paint. Shot clock inside 10 for Carolina. Paris working on Johnson. It'll roll in. She wanted a foul too. No whistle. And a 4-point game. Rivers bottle up in the corner. Here's Hayes. Diamond Johnson back for Rivers. Rebound and kicked out by North Carolina. And back to the Paris, who moments ago 4-point lead for North Carolina.
Paulina Paris gets down the lane line against the smaller Diamond Johnson.
Well, 4 minutes to go in this low-scoring affair, 44-40, North Carolina. As you look at our game summary, Alyssa Husby, by the way, with 15 rebounds in this game. I mean, there have been a ton of missed shots, but she's been right there.
She's just getting warmed up, Dave. I mean, she could go 40 minutes. She's played a 40-minute game already last Sunday against Notre Dame, and now she's going to be on the top of their D. That's the versatility of her game.
Johnson swings it. Under 4.
You got to get somebody in the logo area.
Diamond Johnson. Hayes with a triple. And another rebound there for Husby, and that ties her career high now, 16.
And of the 16 rebounds, 11 of them are defensive, and not one time has she made an outlet pass. She immediately gets them into their transition game.
Looking to make a strong move. Working, banks it in. Destiny Adams, the big sophomore. And North Carolina leads by half a dozen. On the bounce feed, and a quick return, Hobby up and in.
They're doing a good job of screening the top of that zone, and here comes some full court pressure by NC State.
Letting fly. The sophomore from Manchester, New Jersey drains it. 49-42. Johnson with the answer. And a timeout, NC State. 2:41 on the clock. And the Wolfpack get it right back to Diamond Johnson, and she drills the triple. Now, how about Destiny Adams with a couple of big shots?
Well, we've talked about transition defense all game. North Carolina State does not locate and match up. 5 consecutive points by Destiny Adams, and then maybe Diamond Johnson's getting a good look and can knock down some shots here late. But NC State's going to come with some full court pressure here.
And next Sunday at ABC, ACC Women's Basketball Matinee coming your way. Diamond Johnson, number 11 NC State, taking on the Louisville Cardinals. Coverage beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern at ABC, also on the ESPN app.
And keep an eye on Haley Van Lith. She's one of the top scorers in the ACC and has played well for Jeff Walz and company. She had another 20-point game today. So did Morgan Jones.
Well, for North Carolina, their signature win came over number 4 Notre Dame recently. But now trying to pick off their rival and a number 11 ranked NC State Wolfpack. With 2.5 minutes to go, they get the lead 49-45, and they break the pressure. Here's Kelly. And she will set it up now for the Tar Heels.
Go to the horn set. Watch Hodgson off that flare.
Paris, the freshman on the baseline, got too far under. Adams picked it up. She finally missed a shot.
Big rebound by Hobby in traffic.
Johnson will back it away. Brown Turner. Hobby to the paint, to her left. No!
NC State's got to pick up. They got to get a stop here. It's a 2-possession game. That's a big miss for NC State.
Feels like it. Tasia Kelly, top scorer on the court, 17 points a game. Gets it to Hodgson. Shot clock to 5. There's Adams again. She had another one! Destiny Adams from the corner again. Well, you talk about 8 huge points for her in this game. Hobby draws a lot of attention. Can't hit in close. Adams hits the deck. She came away with another rebound.
You got a foul.
Approaching 1 minute. And they're not fouling. 1 minute to go. 52-45.
You can't foul now. You got to get a stop right here.
Shot clock down to 7. Kelly on the dribble, going down, asking for a timeout, but there was a tie-up before that. Dee Kantner had a jump ball before that with 1 on the shot clock.
I'm wondering if they might want to take a look at how much time is left on the shot clock. You can go to the monitor and check.
Possession arrow keeps it on this end. And North Carolina will take a timeout. North Carolina in possession. But 41.7 seconds to go. And the story of this one down the stretch has been Destiny Adams, the sophomore, a former McDonald's All-American. One big play after another.
The drive, the footwork, the toughness around the rim, and then the transition 3, only to be followed up with another triple. She only had 6 coming into the game on the season. She hits 2 huge fourth-quarter triples in that left corner.
As you thought they might, they're going to the monitor here.
Yeah, they need to go to the monitor and look, because I think North Carolina might have a little more time on their shot clock. It's not going to be a reset. Good D by NC State. North Carolina was trying to get a timeout, but Dee Kantner right there on top of it. No timeout. Jump ball. There could be tenths of a second, but North Carolina is probably going to make a direct pass into the post right here, knowing that NC State might like to foul. NC State doesn't have any fouls to give. They've got to foul and put them to the line and hope they miss to extend the game. But I would throw it directly into the post, trying to get a scoring opportunity.
Hodgson to put it in over the top. Must be able to catch and did not get it off anyway. So that is officially a shot clock violation. And it goes back over to the Wolfpack. They need some magic here.
It's a good defensive substitution by Coach Banghart to get Kennedy Todd Williams back on the floor.
And another timeout. So Wes Moore trying to climb back in it here. Down by 7.
There's plenty of time here. Okay, so for NC State, you've got to have 3 scores, right? So if you can get a quick 2 and extend the game, you can do that. If you get a 3 and it's wide open, you can't take much time. You got to score quickly. So I would run a play for a 3, most likely for Diamond. But I also would score quickly. If I'm North Carolina, I'm taking away the 3-point line. Let's see if Courtney Banghart stays in that matchup zone. It's been effective.
Carolina with 1 timeout remaining. NC State has 2. And the arrow belongs to the Tar Heels. Johnson. Back up top for Hayes. Hayes wants a triple. That won't drop. Big battle for the rebound. Back to Carolina. Todd Williams will be fouled on the play with 27.7 to go.
I think that's the question about making the 3 now, whether you have time to extend the game, right? Because if you get the quick 2, you know you can always extend. But you miss the 3, and now North Carolina goes to the free throw line.
Kennedy Todd Williams, the junior from Jacksonville. And 79% drops in that one. 14 for Kennedy.
Sometimes Westmore does not call timeout in this situation to take advantage of their speed up the floor, but this time he is going to advance the ball.
54-45. Wolfpack came in having dropped 3 of their last 5 games, including their last one, 91-72 to Florida State.
And then Florida State loses today at home to Louisville. So that's the way life in the ACC has been. It's been challenging. By far, in my time in the league, this is by far the best the league's ever been with parity.
Now Kennedy Todd Williams with a really interesting game. She's made some acrobatic shots. She's made some long-range shots.
She's taken some tough shots, and she's made them. She's been effective on both sides of the ball. She had a big turnover here in the 4th quarter, or big steal. That led to a bucket and an and-one opportunity. Toughness, length, and speed, and high IQ on the top of that zone, knowing when to shoot the gap.
Coaches say she is the Scottie Pippen of the Tar Heels. Gives you a little bit of everything. Here's Rivers with it. Brown Turner lets fly. Another big rebound by Usby, who's had a bushel full, 18 today. And the foul with 18 seconds to go. And shaping up as a North Carolina victory here today over the Wolfpack.
Not a well-played game by either team's standards, however, very competitive and absolutely great for basketball in the triangle on the women's side.
And with a big celebrity crowd here on hand, a packed house. Great atmosphere today. Mac and Sally have enjoyed it immensely. He had a pregame talk to the Tar Heels. He had them enthralled. I think it paid off. And North Carolina is just seconds away from the victory. Off the fake, Brown Turner won't have that one go down. Underneath, a quick strike there. The basket made by Collins. Rivers went down hard there around the top of the key with 5.6 seconds to go. So he came on the air talking about Diamond Johnson and Deja Kelly. They are certainly big stars in college basketball, but they weren't the big story today.
No, I think Alyssa Usby showed us what she's capable of doing for North Carolina. Kennedy Todd Williams, really tough on the scout to deal with.
I think they were terrific. And in the last quarter, it was Destiny Adams who showed up big time. And North Carolina wins it 56-47 here this afternoon at Carmichael.
North Carolina seems to have turned it around after that slow 0-4 middle part of their schedule, and 0-3 in the ACC. Now they're 3-3 in the ACC and right back in the mix.
And NC State, which has had incredible success inside the conference, and as a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, they lose their 5th game of the season after starting out 11-1. They have now lost 4 out of their last 6 games. North Carolina now 12-5, and they are even in the conference. And whenever you knock off your rival of rivals in front of a gym at home, it is extra special. 56-47. Going to get the head coach for North Carolina, Courtney Banghart, with us. I got to put my jacket on, Courtney. It's hot in here. Coach, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Terrific win. I mean,
sure
as we
was.
were just saying down the stretch, to win against this team in your building, not a seat to be had.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
That really does. You know, I just am really proud to the fan base has really followed this team. Since I got here, that's what I've been trying to do. And the way these guys play, the support for women's basketball for these two programs, and the third program down the street, it means something in North Carolina. It's really special.
Courtney, it's not just Deja Kelly now. It's Usby, it's Kennedy Todd Williams. How about Destiny in the fourth quarter? I mean, you've got lots of pieces. How are you feeling about the way your team's starting to come together?
Yeah, I told them before the game, I said it takes some time to figure out your team, and I'm not sure I figured them out early. And we've kind of loosened them up a little bit, and they're playing much better. So I said, I think I figured you guys out. Go prove it. And we didn't play perfect, but we found a way.
Hard for a coach at times to watch it because you got players who usually make shots, not making as many shots, but the game remains nip and tuck all the way.
We said, you know, defensively, you always got to give yourself a chance. And defensively, the halftime score, you know, my film guys were talking about the defensive end, and I said, hey, we held them to like 19 points. Let's move along to the offense. So, yeah, I know, Debbie, you love offense. We finally brought a little bit of it for you.
Well, the rhythm of the game certainly changed when you did go to the matchup zone, and that has been good for you all season. And when you put Kennedy Todd Williams or Alyssa Usby on the top of that zone, that changes things for the opponent.
It sure does. Their length, they're really good at that kind of stunt, hedge, recover. And my guys are talking on the backside, so it's whether they try to overload you or try to pick on you inside, the activity's been really good.
Coach, great win. Congratulations.
I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Chapel Hill. Go Heels.
Thanks for joining us very much. Courtney Banghart in the win column today against NC State by a final score of 56-47. At times, not a lot of shots were made, but at other times, it added to the excitement of the thing down the stretch because it was close. And North Carolina pulls it out, 56-47 over the Wolfpack. Now we send it to the studio. Kelsey, Rebecca, and Christy.